Every morning, a man who buys his coffee for $8, drives a car worth $800,000, pays $4,000 a month on his mortgage, and earns $400,000 a year couldn't pay his credit card bill last month. Yet there's another man who earns $45,000 a year and will have $500,000 accumulated in his retirement account in 10 years. So how is this possible? Today I'm going to show you a truth that even your family never told you. The problem isn't the amount of money you earn. The problem is what happens between the moment money enters your pocket and the moment it leaves. And nobody ever properly explained this to you. By the end of the video, you'll have completely learned the system you need to apply every payday. But first, let's understand why so many people are in such a terrible situation. Problem: the truth nobody talks about. In 2026, payroll.org conducted a study. 49% of American workers said, if my paycheck were delayed by 1 week, my life would be turned upside down. Notice just 1 week, meaning 7 days. 28% said, I'd manage, but it would be tough. When we add these figures together, we see that 77% of workers couldn't handle a 1 week delay. Now think about this. People have been working for 20, 30, 40 years, receiving a paycheck every month, yet a 7-day disruption could collapse their entire lives. The more alarming part is this isn't just an issue related to low income. Look at Goldman Sachs's findings. 41% of those earning between $300,000 and $500,000 a year say, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. 40% of those earning $500,000 say the same thing. So the problem isn't how much you earn, it's what you do when money enters your pocket. Most people let their money flow away like water. The paycheck comes, it goes, and they can't explain what's left in the middle. They're aware of what they earn, and they're aware of it leaving. But the part in between remains a mystery. According to Bankrate's 2026 report, 24% of Americans have no emergency savings whatsoever. Yes, none. 59% of people are not in a position to cover an unexpected $1,000 expense. They'll either borrow or sell something. The Federal Reserve's 2024 survey shows that only 55% of workers have saved enough to cover 3 months of expenses. And these aren't minimum wage workers. This picture appears at every income level, in every education group, in every profession. I'm Sammy. On this channel, I share things your family doesn't know or won't tell you. You're no longer alone. Your Uncle Sammy is always by your side. If you want to keep learning about financial topics nobody talks about, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you're ready, let's begin. The inflation reality and psychology. Over the last 3 years, the price of everything increased by approximately 30%. Things we bought from the grocery store for $100 in 2023, we now buy for $130. But salaries didn't increase by 30%. In most places, they went up 5% or 8%, and in some places, not at all. So your purchasing power has dropped, but you're still trying to maintain the same standard of living. This is the fundamental reason people are going broke. Now you might be thinking, okay, Sammy, we get that the situation is bad, so what do we do? Let me tell you this, the solution isn't just budgeting. Yes, you heard that right. Keeping a budget journal, recording every expense, preparing Excel spreadsheets, these don't work for many people. Why? Because budgeting is like dieting. You start with great enthusiasm the first week, you continue with discipline the second week, you skip a day the third week, and by the fourth week, you realize you've completely quit. The problem isn't whether or not you have discipline, the problem is that the system is wrong. Pennsylvania, Illinois, and Oregon have state-sponsored retirement programs. They make automatic payroll deductions. More than 1 million workers have saved over $2 billion in total. And these people didn't do anything extra, they just enrolled in the system, and the system handled the rest. That's exactly where the magic is. You can't spend money you don't see. If money is automatically deducted from your paycheck and never enters your wallet, you behave as if it didn't exist to begin with. This isn't psychology, it's behavioral science. The system for automatic pipelines. Now I'm going to explain this system to you in full, but first let me note, this is not a step-by-step budgeting system. Think of it as 4 separate automatic pipelines. You put your money in, and the system flows on its own. Pipeline 1, survival pipeline. First and foremost, make the minimum payments on all your debts. Credit cards, student loans, car loans, whatever debt you have, pay the minimum and automate it. Set up automatic payment, then forget about it. Why is this option first? When you miss a payment, your credit score drops. And when your credit score drops, your life becomes more expensive without you even realizing it. A low credit score means higher interest rates when taking out new credit, higher deposits when renting a home, and in some states, higher insurance premiums. Some employers even look at your credit credit report and may not hire you. Yes, I'm serious. For your credit score comes from payment history, and 30% comes from credit utilization ratio. That means 65% of your score depends on just two things: pay on time and don't let your debt balloon. There's no other formula. The system is that simple. Pipeline 2, safety pipeline. This pipeline is your emergency fund. In the past, people said set aside 3 months of expenses, but that's no longer enough. In 2026, layoffs are continuing rapidly, artificial intelligence is reshaping industries, and economic uncertainty is becoming permanent. For this reason, it's essential to build a fund that covers 4 to 6 months of living expenses. If your monthly expenses are $2,500, your target should be $10,000 to $15,000. I can almost hear you saying, "Uncle Sammy, that's a huge number. How can I save that?" Look, break the goal into smaller pieces. First $2,000, then $5,000, then $10,000. Each milestone gives you a morale boost. Now, where should this money be kept? Normal savings accounts offer almost no interest. According to FDIC data, the average savings account offers 0.39% interest. You put in $15,000 and you earn $58 a year. But high-yield online bank accounts are currently providing returns between 3% and 4%. For the same $15,000, you'd earn approximately $600 a year. Same money, same insurance protection, but 10 times more return. Yes, these rates have dropped compared to the 2023 to 2024 period. Back then, there were accounts paying 4.5%, 5%. The Federal Reserve cut interest rates and savings rates fell back, but 3.5% is still far, far better than an ordinary bank. Pipeline 3, growth pipeline. Your growth pipeline runs through your retirement accounts. This is exactly where you start getting rich. In a survey conducted by Ramsey Solutions with over 10,000 millionaires, the following finding was reached. Wealthy people invest at least 15% of their salary toward retirement, and they do this before making any other expenditures. They view this amount as a non-negotiable necessity, like rent or a utility bill. In 2026, you can contribute a maximum of $24,500 annually to a 401k account. If you're over 50, this limit rises to $32,500. And if you're between 60 and 63, it goes up to $35,750. I should also mention an important change. If you earned over $150,000 in 2025, you're now required to make your catch-up contributions as Roth. The pre-tax option has been removed for high earners. Your first priority should be to take full advantage of employer matching. If your employer says, "I'll put in 50 cents for every dollar up to 6%, and you're only contributing 3%, you're leaving money on the table. That's a guaranteed 50% return. There's no investment opportunity like that in history. Always take the full match. Let's look at the power of starting early together. Say you earn $75,000 and you're investing 15% toward retirement. That's $813 a month. Over 40 years, with an average annual return of 8%, that money grows to $2.1 million. The math is quite simple. The hard part is maintaining consistency for 40 years. That's exactly why setting up automatic payment instructions is essential. Set it up once, let the payroll department do it automatically, and never think about it again. In 2026, the IRA limit has also increased $7,500 per year, or $8,600 if you're over 50. If you have a high deductible health plan, you should pay particular attention to an HSA, because this account offers a triple tax advantage. Contributions are tax deductible, growth is tax-free, and withdrawals for healthcare expenses are also tax-free. There's no other account that offers this advantage. The 2026 HSA limits are as follows: $4,400 for individuals, $8,750 for families. With the recent federal legislative changes, bronze and catastrophic plans are now considered HSA compatible, meaning millions more people can now benefit from this right. Pipeline 4, Freedom Pipeline. All high-interest debt above 15% falls within the scope of this pipeline. Credit cards typically charge over 20% interest, some 24%, some 28%. Paying off a debt at 24% 4% interest is equivalent to earning a guaranteed 24% return on an investment, and that kind of investment doesn't exist in real life. There are two methods for eliminating these debts. 1. Avalanche method. Pay off the highest interest debt first. This is the most mathematically optimal method. You pay the least total interest, but it can be psychologically difficult because the highest interest debt is often the largest debt. 2. Snowball method. Pay off the smallest debt first. It's psychologically satisfying. You see quick wins and your motivation increases. Let's give a concrete example. $8,000 car loan at 7% interest, $3,000 credit card debt at 25% interest, $15,000 student loan at 5% interest. The avalanche method says to pay off the credit card first because it has the highest interest rate. The snowball also says to pay the credit card first because it's the smallest debt. In this example, both methods arrive at the same conclusion, though that's not always the case. Which one you choose depends entirely on your own psychology. Some people prefer mathematical optimization, and some draw strength from small wins. Both methods lead people to wealth. The difference only comes down to psychological comfort. One more nuance: low interest debt and investing can be pursued simultaneously. If your student loan is at 4% interest and the stock market provides 8%, 10% returns over the long term, then directing every dollar toward that debt means a guaranteed 4% return. No volatility, no risk of loss. The mathematically optimal choice is usually to live with low interest debt and continue investing. The psychologically optimal choice for many people, however, is to eliminate all debt. Both approaches lead to wealth. The difference is only in the peace of mind in your head. Now let's step out of theory and look at the numbers. Scenarios. Scenario 1. Earning $30,000 a year. You earn $2,500 gross per month. Let's say your net pay is approximately $2,100. According to the 50/30/20 rule, 50% needs, $1,050, 30% wants, $630, 20% savings, $450. Let's be realistic, $1,050 won't even cover rent in many cities. So the ratios need to be adjusted as follows. 60% needs, $1,260, 20% wants, $420, 20% needs, $460. $420 a month may seem small, but it amounts to $5,040 per year. With a 7% return, that becomes $73,000 in 10 years, $172,000 in 20 years, and $424,000 in 30 years. Can you not get rich on a low income? Of course you can. Scenario 2. Earning $60,000 a year. You earn $5,000 gross per month. Let's say your net pay is approximately $3,800. The 50/30/20 rule fits more comfortably here. 50% needs, $1,900. 30% wants, $1,140. 20% savings, $760. $760 a month amounts to $9,120 a year. If your employer does 50% matching up to 6% and you contribute 10%, your employer adds 3%, making total contributions 13%. 13% of a $60,000 annual salary equals $7,800. Over 40 years, with an average 8% return, that grows to $2,800. If $760 is automatically deducted toward retirement, you're left with $3,040, and you learn to live on that. When you get a 5% raise a year later, a $250 monthly increase, the critical decision should be, put $125 toward retirement and improve your life with $125. Every time your salary increases, direct at least half of the increase toward savings. Scenario 3. Earning $150,000 a year but still going broke, and earn $2,500 gross per month. Let's say your net is approximately $8,500. According to Goldman Sachs, the vast majority of people at this income level are living paycheck to paycheck. Why? Because expenses inflate along with income. A bigger house, a more expensive car, more luxurious vacations, private school, fancy restaurants. You earn $8,500 a month, but the expenses look like this. $3,500 on mortgage, $1,500 on 2 car payments, $1,200 on private school, $800 on insurance and utilities, $1,500 on 2 car payments. What's left? Zero. When an unexpected $2,000 car repair comes up, you put it on the credit card. That's exactly where the problem is. A high income doesn't make you rich. Managing a high income wisely makes you rich. If you make different choices on the same salary, $2,200 in rent for a smaller home, $600 car loan for one car, $0 for public school, $700 for insurance and utilities, $1,200 for food, shopping, and socializing. Total expenses, $4,700, that leaves $3,800. If you invest this amount regularly each month, that's $45,600 a year. Over 20 years with an 8% return, it reaches $2.09 million. Same salary, different choices, but a difference of millions of dollars. The invisible money leak. Now let's get to a topic not many people talk about: invisible money leak. These expenses look trivial when examined individually, but together they add up to a frightening figure. Leak 1, subscriptions. Netflix $15, Spotify $10, Apple iCloud $3, Amazon Prime $15, Gym $50, various apps $20. That's $113 a month in total, $1,356 a year. How many of these subscriptions do you actually use? When did you last go to the gym? If you invest $113 a month for 30 years at a 7% return, it amounts to $113,000. Leak 2, small daily expenses. Morning coffee, $5. Lunch out, $12. Evening snacks, $8. That's $25 a day, $500 a month, $6,000 a year. Uncle Sammy, are we not supposed to have a social life? Of course you should, but live consciously. Instead of going out for coffee 3 days a week, make it at home 2 of those days. Instead of eating out 3 days a week, cook at home 2 of those days. That way you've cut the same expenses in half and saved $3,000 a year. Leak 3, lifestyle inflation. This is the sneakiest one. You get a $416 monthly raise. So what do? You immediately move to a better apartment. Rent goes up $300. You get a newer car even though you don't need one. The installment goes up $150, and you go out more often. Before you know it, the entire raise is gone. You haven't gotten richer. Instead, direct 50% of the increase towards savings, and use 50% to improve your quality of life. Got a $416 raise? Add $208 to your retirement account, and improve your life with $208. Every raise you receive, divide it this way. Leak 4, excess interest payments. You have $3,000 in credit card debt at 22% interest, and you're only paying the minimum $75 a month. It will take 5 years to pay off this debt, and you'll pay $1,800 in total interest. But if you paid $150 a month, the debt would be cleared in 2 years. You'd pay only $700 in interest, saving yourself $1,100. The full picture: subscriptions $1,356, small daily expenses $3,000, lifestyle inflation $2,500, cess interest payments $1,000. Total annual leak $7,956. If this money flowing away silently without your awareness had been directed toward investments for 30 years at a 7% return, it would have amounted to $763,000. Remember, small leaks lead to big losses. Income diversification pipeline 5. I can state this clearly. In 2026, relying on a single source of income is a serious risk. According to data from Inc. magazine, 65% of self-made millionaires have at least 3 income sources. Tom Corley's 5-year research also reveals that 45% of millionaires have 4 income sources and 29% have 5 or more. Tech companies continue to lay off workers, artificial intelligence is transforming entire industries, and economic uncertainty is becoming permanent. In this environment, income diversification secures both your portfolio and your life. If you're thinking, Sammy, we're already exhausted, how can we take on extra work? Let me say this. I'm not telling you to work 80 hours. Set aside 2 to 3 hours a week and build something. You can set up systems that can provide $100, $500, or even $1,000 in additional income per month. Here are a few ideas. You can do freelance work using your professional expertise. If you're a designer, design logos. If you're a software developer, take on small projects. If you're an accountant, Offer consulting. You can create regular income by investing in dividend-paying stocks. It may look small at first, but it accumulates over time. You can create content on YouTube, newsletters, or blogs, low startup cost, but can generate serious income in the long run. You can try e-commerce models like selling handmade products on Etsy or reselling on Amazon. If you're an expert in something, you can offer coaching, fitness, music, foreign languages, whatever it may be. You can invest in real estate by directly acquiring property or indirectly through REITs. The logic here is that each new income stream feeds the previous pipelines: a larger emergency fund, higher retirement contributions, a bigger investment account. The more fuel enters the system, the faster compound interest accelerates. Tax optimization and annual renewal. This topic can't be completed without talking about taxes. Saver's credit. This is a tax credit provided by the government in return for contributing to your retirement account, such as a 401k. To qualify in 2026, your income must be below the following thresholds: $40,250 for singles, $80,500 for married couples. 1 in 5 taxpayers who qualify for this credit isn't taking advantage of it. In other words, they're leaving free money behind. HSA advantages. Let me remind you once more of the triple protection I mentioned earlier. Contributions are tax deductible, growth is tax-free, and withdrawals for healthcare expenses are tax-free. There's no other account that offers this advantage. Reset every January, contribution limits change every year, and the IRS announces new figures. Add a reminder to your calendar every January, review the new limits and update your payroll deductions. You do this once, and the system continues automatically for the rest of the year. Let's also look at the long-term picture. Say you earn $65,000 and you apply this system: 15% to retirement, 6-month emergency fund, 50/30ths, 20% balance, and a defense against lifestyle inflation. Approximately $813 a month goes toward investment. With a 7% average return, after 30 years you'll have $920,000. Add to this employer matching, directing half of salary increases toward contributions, pre-tax retirement advantages, and an HSA that's been growing untouched for years, and you're crossing $1.5 million. According to Ramsey Solutions findings, 79% of millionaires are self-made. They didn't inherit wealth from their families, and only 31% ever earned $100,000 or more per year. The typical millionaire reached that status after 28 years of consistent behavior. The system isn't flashy, no secret investment strategy, no market timing game. It consists of the boring but powerful discipline of doing the right thing every payday. The vast majority of American workers can't handle a 1-week paycheck delay, no emergency fund, credit card debt exceeding savings. These people will have to keep working until they can no longer work because they never built anything outside of their labor that generates income. This system separates you from that majority, and your next paycheck is coming into your account soon. There's only one question: what will you do when that money arrives? What you've learned in this video is only information, but if knowledge isn't applied, it remains a fun fact on your to-do list. Now I'm asking you to do this. When you finish watching the video, set aside 15 minutes. Set up automatic payment instructions for all your debt. Set up automatic transfers from your paycheck to your emergency fund and retirement account. Enroll in your employer's retirement plan and take full advantage of the matching. Open a high-yield online bank account. All of this takes 15 minutes of your time. You do it once, the rest runs automatically. These 15 minutes you dedicate to yourself can change the next 30 years of your life. Most people will watch this video, say nice information, and do nothing. Don't be one of them. Build your own system, automate your payments and savings, and get on with your life. 10 years from now, the people around you will ask, "How did you do it?" And you'll say, "I set up a simple system, automated it, and forgot about it. That's all." Which pipeline will you build today? Write it in the comments. And send this video to a friend. There's definitely someone in your circle who needs to hear these truths that even their family never told them. See you in the next video. Until then, build your system and set your money to automatic flow. Take care of yourselves.